This recording will show you how to set up a discussion, and after that I will show you how to set up groups and group discussions. So let's start off with the basics, just plain old discussions. So I'm in Carmen. Let's go to activities and then discussions. This is my practice course, so you'll see I already have one called student questions. So to create a new one or to create your first one, all you need to do is go to new and then go to new forum, type in a name, and then there's also this checkbox, so create a new topic in this forum with the same title. If you're creating discussions for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, or a general ask the instructor or course discussion thread, for example, if I called mine course discussion, if you check this box, everything will be done for you and you'll have everything set up so that you can create, so that students can go into a course discussion and post. If you do not check this box, there's another step. So I'm going to go through it by checking this box first. So I'll call this course discussion with box. Then I'll go down to save and close. Show you what that looks like. So this is what I created. So I created a new forum, and by checking that box I get this topic. Students cannot post in a discussion without a topic like this. So that box saves me a step. Let's say I want to replicate what I have up here where I have student questions and then I have student questions and quiz prep. You would create a new forum just like I did with course discussion with the checkbox. But after that you would also go to new and then topic. And this topic will let you choose your forum, so I'll add it to the one I created. Give it a name. You could also give it a description. If you are posting a case study or have specific discussion questions, you should post that as the description. There are a few boxes down here. Allow anonymous messages. You probably don't want that because they're also anonymous to you. The option that messages must be approved before being displayed is also something you probably don't, most people do not use. That means you have to go in and approve them before anyone else can see them. And the third option is kind of neat. So a user must compose a message before participating in the topic. So that would require a student to submit a message before they can see anyone else's response. So you could have, let's call this case study, and then for description you could type in some sort of question, and then you can choose a user must compose a message before participating, and then they will have to respond to this question before they can see anything from anybody else. That's pretty cool. These options are all the same if you go to new forum and check the box, or if you don't and add your topics separately. It's all the same. So the other options are the availability and the locking options. You may have to click show topic visibility options or show locking options to see these, but these are essentially date restrictions for your discussion. I usually don't use availability because it will show or hide. So if you use availability and you set an end date, students cannot refer back to that. What I usually use are the locking options. So this allows you to set a specific time window that students have to respond. You can set a start date and an end date, and students can only respond during that time. So you can make sure people don't do things late, or that everything is done by the deadline. I'm just going to go ahead and click save, move this here to the future, click save and close. And this is the one I created. So discussions are easy. Make sure when you go to new forum, if you're posting a single item, you can check this box, or if you're going to go in and add other topics to it or multiple topics to one forum, you do not need to check this box. That's really the basics. To get a little bit more advanced, there are also groups. So to set up groups, you go to edit course, and then there's a groups option under learner management. And these groups can be used for a variety of things in Carmen, for example, the Dropbox or the discussions, or even a couple other tools. You can set restrictions and all of that, but primarily they're used for discussion groups. So when you don't have any groups, you have to click New Category. I'll call these discussion groups. And you have options under enrollment type. So number of groups will create whatever number that you specify of groups. And then no auto enrollments means you have to assign everybody. That's great if you have students signing up in class. So groups of number, that will allow you to specify that you want groups of 4, and it'll divide the class into however many class groups that is. The same option with number of groups, but this time it will automatically enroll people. And then these self-enrollment options let students do self-sign-up. These aren't used very frequently because students can't change their assignment, and it requires a little bit of instructor interaction. But they are there, and if you're interested, you can contact support about these options. So I'm just going to do number of groups, or groups of number. I will say that I want groups of 2. There are 2 options down here, so auto-enroll new users and randomize users in groups. I check both of these, especially when you're setting up groups at the beginning of the semester. Some students might drop or add your course, and auto-enroll new users will work really hard to make sure they stay balanced. Randomize users will randomly assign them, or else they are done alphabetically. And then under additional options, these are the tools that can use groups primarily. So set up discussion areas. Since this is the discussion recordings, I'll check that. And that will help me, right after I create the groups, I'll start setting up discussions. So I'll click Save. That'll take me right into the discussion section. So these are the forums I've already created. Neither one of these is really what I want to use, so I can actually just click New Forum right on this page. I'll call it Group Discussions. Click Save. And then I'll click Create and Next. If you have multiple group discussions for various projects, you can go to Add Another and do the exact same thing, but this time I'll just go to Create and Next. Tell me it created 5 groups, 1 forum, and then 5 forum topics, 1 for each group. Then I can click Done. So now if I go to Activities and then Discussions, scroll down, this is the one that it just created. You'll see that it's numbered, or it's named the same way as the group, and it'll tell you right here that there are group restrictions. What that means is that only group 5 plus the instructor can see what's in group 5. Same with the other groups. They can't see what other people are working on, which is great. That's really the basics of group setup and group restrictions. That's the preferred way to set them up. There are a few other ways to do that. If you're interested, feel free to contact support and we can work through that with you. But that's the basics and how you'll get up and get running.